Hola, soy yo Vicky otra vez, and in today's video we're in level 2, break the language barrier level 2. We are on page 18 and we're going to look at those dastardly direct object pronouns. I don't like teaching. But we have to learn them because they are really essential to understanding Spanish. Once you start to understand direct object pronouns, you will start to understand a lot more Spanish. So first of all, I need to explain exactly, most people don't know even what pronoun is. Because of course, when we're speaking English, we don't have to think grammatically. Our brain just calculates what it wants to say, spits it out. It doesn't think, oh, I'm going to use a direct object pronoun. It just does it. But basically, what a pronoun, any kind of pronoun, does is it replaces the noun. So, in other words, so we don't have to keep repeating the name of things. Once it's clear who or what we're talking about, we start to use a pronoun. For example, if I was saying, oh, this morning I have seen John, and then I went on to say where I had seen him. I have seen John at the market. Well, you wouldn't, once it was clear I was talking about John, we would replace John by him. That is a direct object pronoun, because you wouldn't just keep repeating John every time I was telling you, that I spoke to John, or I had a coffee with John. You wouldn't keep saying John, you'd use him eventually, once it's clear who you're talking about. That's what a direct object pronoun is. Of course, no, so it could be him, her, it, etc. Here in the book on page 18, you have the pronouns, the direct object pronouns, first of all in English, which are me, you, him, her, it, use, because we don't, us, then use, we don't have a plural you, but I call it use just so you understand that I mean plural, them. And then in Spanish, that translates to me, te, lo or la, masculine, feminine, for him, her, or masculine or feminine, it, nos, os, los or las, again, masculine and feminine. Now, I'm presuming you have the book. If you don't have the book, you can just listen to the sentences. I'm not going to say them in English. I'm going to just read out the Spanish so that people can hear the pronunciation of the answers and maybe check their answers. But if you have the book, the answers are in the back anyway. The purpose of this video is just for the pronunciation, so you can listen to it at the same time as looking at it. But you can use it as a listening exercise also. Try to write down what I'm saying. Remember, you can always pause it, listen again, if you don't catch it the first time. Okay, numero uno. Now, just to let you know that if it's an it and I haven't put feminine or F in brackets after it, we use the masculine, okay? Lo ha dado a Maria. Numero dos. Oh, and this is a mixture of tenses as well. Some are in the present tense and some are in the present perfect. If you don't understand what I mean by tenses, you definitely need to. I mean, the new thing here is the direct object pronouns, but the other things like the present tense or the present perfect have already been covered in this course so far. So if you are just coming into this video and you don't know what those things are, you have to look back at the videos from before, or in the books from before. Okay, so lo ha dado a Maria is number one. Number two, no lo ha dado a Maria. Numero tres, they want to see yous. Os quieren ver. So what is explained in the book here is, notice that in English, these sort of pronouns like it, me, him, her, we put them at the end of the sentence. I have seen him. I want to buy it. In Spanish, they go in front of the verb. Him, I saw yesterday, not I saw him yesterday. But that's explained in the book anyway. Número 4. No las han visto esta semana. Número 5. Lo ha buscado todo el día. Número 6. La limpio cada semana o todas las semanas. Número 7. ¿Lo has entendido o comprendido? Número 8. Nos ha visto. Número 9. John lo llama. Número 10. Lo dicen todo el tiempo. Número 11. La ha llevado al aeropuerto. Número 12. Lo he llevado a casa. Número 13. No la puede vender. Número 14. ¿La has visto? 15. Los hemos olvidado. 16. Nos han olvidado. Número 17. Lo ha comprado esta semana. 18. La han pintado. 19. No lo ha hecho. 20. ¿Lo has hecho? 21. No las han escrito. 22. Lo comprendo o lo entiendo. Número 23. La besa. Número 24. Nos invitan. 25. Los veo. Now, the other thing I just want to explain before I start on the second part, practice B. For me, the first thing you should do when you're trying to, well, not only translate these sort of things in Spanish, but anything you're trying to do in Spanish, you have to identify your verb first. That's why we do so much work with picking out verbs out of translations, identifying the verb, deciding what tense it is, etc. It is imprescindible in Spanish. You cannot learn Spanish properly without understanding how verbs work, because the way the grammar works in Spanish, the verb is everything. So what I would recommend in these kind of things is hone in and focus on your verb. What's the verb, the action word, the doing word? Find your verb. What tense is it? Is it present, past, and as you carry on, is it future tense, etc.? What tense is it? What person is it? Conjugate it. So get your verb, put it in the right person, the right tense, and then fit everything else around it. Verb first. It's like a jigsaw in the beginning, putting it together bit by bit. It is painstaking at first. But as time goes on, and the more you do these kind of things, as I say, that's why we identify a lot of verbs, because eventually this just becomes second nature. It really does. I mean, don't forget, I have been there too. I wasn't born speaking Spanish. You know, I had to learn Spanish the hard way, just like you are. Okay, practice B. Again, we're just translating the sentences into Spanish. Número 1. Paco la ama o quiere. 2. Te necesito. 3. Las busca. 4. Nos visitan. 5. ¿Quién la conoce? Don't forget it's conocer, to know a person or a place, not saber, to know facts or information. Número 6. Nos han esperado mucho tiempo o largo tiempo. Número 7. Me crees. 8. Os espero. 9. Nos dice. 10. Los chicos me han visto. 11. Lo miro. 12. Te eligen. 13. No lo oigo o escucho. 14. No la quieren. 15. No la vemos. 16. No los visito a menudo. 17. No quiere hacerlo. 18. La he puesto en la mesa. 19. No los quiero aquí. 20. ¿Lo hacéis cada día o todos los días? 21. Lo sabes. Esto es facts or information, so this is saber. 22. Lo encuentra difícil. Did you remember that was a diphthong? If you don't know about diphthongs, you need to go back to level 1. Número 23. Los odiamos. 24. Las he visto hoy. 25. Las llevas al aeropuerto cada vez. Not tiempo. Now there is a video on my channel explaining the difference with the different ways of saying time in Spanish. So every time is cada vez, not cada tiempo. Vale, how did you do with the pronouns? The pronouns are difficult for everyone, and there's a few more. We've got a little bit more practice to do yet with pronouns, a couple of translations. By the time you've done the translations, it will be easier, I promise. Okay, I'm not saying it'd be easy, be easy. Okay, gracias por mirar. If you've enjoyed the video or found it useful, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already and you would like to, please subscribe. It's completely free. Y te veo muy pronto en el próximo video. Hasta entonces, que tu Dios vaya contigo. Gracias. Hasta pronto.